find a way to run.
Hello guys and welcome back to another video from the BeamNG modding tutorial series, and today we are taking a look at the slot system present in BeamNG.drive, and we are again going to do it on the example of our car which we made in the last video. And we're going to create some slots that we can put our wheels and suspension into, and we'll also be able to tune up our car with, for example, bigger tires or better suspension maybe. Do you know what I want to tune up to? My subscriber count. And you're the only one who can help me with that. So consider subscribing to not miss future tutorials and videos. Yeah, slots. If you press Ctrl V on any vehicle, you will be presented the slots in the vehicle customization window, but we don't have any yet, so we need to create some. We actually have encountered slots before. Right here, because the slots are essentially just places for the parts of your car to fit in, and the main slot is the highest in that hierarchy of all the slots, and it's also the place where BeamNG starts to build your car from. So that's why it's required for any vehicle. Yeah. To implement the slot system, we first need to separate our parts into actual discrete parts to have them go into different slots. So yeah, we just make a new JBeam file, and this is going to be for our suspension, and we're just going to save that. And we basically just take this information, put it in here, and obviously you can specify a specific name for it. I'm just going to for something pretty generic, just suspension. You can have like front suspension and rear, and you can also just call it what kind of suspension it is, so like trading link suspension or whatever. And yeah, we're just going to copy everything that belongs to our suspension, which is first of all this. Those are the nodes, and we also need to have this up front. And we get our beams too. The first thing we need to pay attention to is that if we connect to something that isn't in our part, so if there is no node 2 in here, we need to make sure that this node will always be present. So obviously this is the main body. You can actually call it that, for instance, and so this must be present for this to work. So the suspension will be a slot in our body. And actually, let me put that back here, because the body will also be a separate part. So then we are going to do, nope, wait, there's something missing. our hydros are missing. And now we're going to make the tires. So small tires, and we're also going to make big tires then. And again, just take information here. The name is small suspension, and you can save them as tires. And we are going to just copy the pressure wheels. And for the last part, we are going to create a body for our vehicle. Again, just copying this. And then we can steal all the nodes. And we can steal all the beams. And triangles and flex bodies too. Now you can see there isn't actually a lot left here, and the rev nodes have to go as well. And yeah, this is everything left from our made tutorial script or JBeam. And what we're going to do is create new slots. So for example, we create a slot for our body. So in our tutorial vehicle, or you can obviously call whatever you want, but in there we have a slot that will contain our body, and then the body will contain a slot for suspension, and the suspension will contain a slot for the wheels or tires. So to make some slots, we first need to have this declaration here. This is the type of slot, which is basically what name the slot has. So if we now put in, if we later put in body, you can only put in objects of type body. I've got it right. Then the default is the default object that's going to be in there, and then the description, which is self-explanatory. So the type of slot we want to have is first body. The default is also body because we only have one type of it, and description is body of only body. The description is that this what will show up left of the slot in the selections menu. And if we go, let's arrange that maybe. If we go into our body, then we need to define what slot type it can go into, and since this is the body, it can only go into body types of slots. Oh, missing a there. Maybe some spacing. And yeah, in here we can do the same for our slots. So in here we will have suspension, and the default for that will be let's called weak suspension, and I'm going to rename that here to weak suspension, so we can differentiate between two types of suspension, and that's just suspension. Obviously, in normal vehicles in BeamNG you have differentiation between front and rear suspension. Yeah, and in here we again need to define in what types of slot the suspension can go into, and obviously only into the suspension type of slot. And in our suspension we want to have slots as well, slots for our tires. And in here I'm actually going to do front and rear tires, and that will show you that we can have wait a sec. Rear and front, yeah. Oh, it's an underscore. So we have front and rear small tires, and we this front. This is the front, and make some. By the way, if you didn't know that, you can make two different objects in one file. So if they are closely related to each other, you can just put them in one. Oh, even if they're not, but it wouldn't make any sense if you put the engine and the roof in the same JBeam file. But you could technically do that if you wanted. No, it's not small suspension mode, small tires. Small rear tires to be specific, and also small front tires. And I'm going to delete these two from the front tires and these two from the rear tires. And yeah, that's actually it for all the slots. I'm just going to create some big tires as well. So usually you would actually have like rims, and you can fit any type of tire onto your rims. But yeah, so you don't have the differentiation from rear and front in terms of what tires you choose, but what rims they're on. So there are specific ones for rear and for front. So yeah, but for simplicity, we just do this. Well, we can make them a little bit bigger in all terms. Yeah, just increase that and that, and do the same here. And yeah, yeah, you could maybe do like bigger retires, but that's not the scope of this video. And also we need to put in what slot type this can go into, and the front small tires can go into front tire slot. And same thing for these, and for these it's rear. So now I'm just going to, oh wait, that's folder. No, not Among Us. I'm completely lost. There we go. There's a folder. and we can put all of these, oh no, not this one, this one, all of these files in there. Yep, body, suspension, and tires. Oh, it's not tires, but yeah, put them in 2. And now if we go in here, oh, what I want to say is remove this, reload the mod, and spawn it back in. And we don't seem to, yeah, you can see here that we have our slots here, that we have a slot for suspension, and there are also a slot for front tires and rear tires. And you can see we can put in small front tires and big rear tires. Let's see how that goes. Are they actually bigger? Yes, they do indeed appear to be bigger at the rear. Why doesn't it register that as high standard? Oh, because it's tires with an S, but so it couldn't load in the default. Maybe it did even say that in here. No, did not say that in here. But okay. So let's go up to our classical hill, and just like, why don't I have orbit cam though? But as it's tradition since like the last video, I guess, we will try at least to push this thing down this mountain. Maybe steer in the other direction. Nope. Oh, we handle the, oh god. Oh, okay, we don't handle the rocky terrain. Why am I at the wrong end though? Let's see. We're again going to crash. Yeah. Come on. Now let's start going. And as you can see, it obviously works like a charm. And we have steering on the back for some reason. Oh yeah, it's wrong way around. Also, the steering is not correct. But okay. And yeah, thank you for watching this tutorial. If you learned something new, then consider subscribing and liking the video. And maybe comment on what you did. And yeah, I see you guys again in the next video.